So hello and welcome to round number 4 of 6 of the 2025 UCI BMX Racing World Cup. We are here in Papendal in the Netherlands, this amazing track that's nestled in amongst the trees and forests that dot this fantastic area. It's certainly a mecca for everybody wanting to go down for cycle sport, from sportives and gravel races right the way through the classic road season. Bikes are part of the DNA of the Netherlands, and here at Papendal that's been transferred into an absolutely stunning track, the home of the World Cup. We were first here in 2011 and this is now the 12th time that the World Cup has been here into Papendal, this historic battle site, a site that's been fought over, and we've had some fantastic battles whilst everybody's been enjoying themselves. My name's Matt Payne. I'm here with Rich Eames in what is becoming a fast changing weather environment, Rich, because we are starting to see light rain come in through. We've seen that humidity rate increase, and that was affecting some of the earlier races as well.
Yeah, there was a couple of riders who slid out in the turns. Changes in weather conditions can make things a little bit difficult, but if the rain does start to fall, expect to see, a little bit more action later.
Well, you can certainly see that the track and the spectators getting a little bit damp at the moment, so going to be a testing race today. So the track at the moment, just looking that little bit damper, it is normally basically refreshed, isn't it, Rich, where we're getting a little bit of water being sprayed on by the track officials. It's not happening at the moment, I suspect, because of that lighter rain. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens.
Hi, I'm Beth Shriver. We're here in Papendal and I'm going to give you the track preview. Let's get up to the start hill. So we're here at Papendal start gate. What an amazing view. This is actually one of the longest first straights on the circuit. So it kind of opens it up a bit. Doesn't mean you have to go in gate 1, you can go from the outside. One of the fastest first straights, and it showcases everyone's leg speed. So we'll see who gets to that first corner first over that step up. So at the end of this straight, we have a milder triple. It used to be a lot steeper, a lot less forgiving, but I'd say now quite a few more girls will be jumping it. You then go into a lovely wide open first corner. A lot of moves are going to be made. Then there's a long straight bit. Nice pump into the second straight. This used to be a triple. It's now a short step up, so you need to be pinpoint. So make sure you get your eyes peeled on that, and then you're all the way into the second corner with a lot of speed. So as you can see, guys, this is the perspective that we see coming out this first corner, flying flat out at 100% speed. This side is the women's side. As you can see, it's not much different to the men's side over here. The men's side is obviously a bit bigger, but you can't see the landings, and when you're coming out here flat out, it is quite scary. But yeah, what an amazing perspective. And when you're battling with 7 other people, it gets pretty tight. Crazy racing's coming up, guys. So at the end of the men's second straight, they have a massive berm jump that actually jumps over the women's corner. Their berm jump leads into their massive corner, which a lot of moves are going to be made. Both these corners are crucial in our races. The men's is wide open, a lot of moves will be made, whereas for the women, it's more about carrying speed so we can do the line on our third straight. And I think you need to be able to gain speed from both these corners to be able to do the line that you want. So once you've driven all your momentum through that third straight into the last corner, hopefully no one's come underneath you and you've got to this lovely short and sweet last straight. For me, all I'm worried about here is hanging on, hoping my legs are going to get me to that finish line, but the race isn't over until you cross that line. So hanging on, getting through these last obstacles, and we're good to go.
with a lot of changes to this course, it's certainly making things difficult for the riders with a little bit of acclimatization to make sure that they get themselves in here and get it dialed. It's certainly affecting who's going through from the previous rounds.
Yeah, as we take a look at the previous rounds, and certainly Dutch domination. Jason Nordam taking the win in round number 3. In men's under 23, Laura Smulders also taking the win in the elite women class.
So let's take a look at who is leading as we come away from round 3 into round number 4, because it has been all changed at the top of lots of the standings in the elites, with different riders taking the win. The elites really has been a story of 3 different winners in each of our preceding rounds. In the under 23s, Jason Nordam and Michelle Vissing taking away win after win after win and dominating the top of their individual rankings. So let's take a look at the women's elite standings first of all. Saya Sakakibara heading up the standings from Zoe Clayson. Saya Sakakibara not having taken a World Cup win so far, 2 second place her best. The winners of the preceding rounds, Clayson's, Simpson and Smulders, who took the last win in round number 3 just below. Bethany Shriver, one of our podium riders a little bit further down, as is Delaney Vaughan. That women's elite competition, very, very tight at the moment. It's only 28 points between first and second place. When we move across then, well, we've got a real battle unfolding a little bit further down through the standings. In fact, in the men's competition, we're seeing a lot of battles in that, and I think we can take a look at those standings now. Sylvain Andre moving up into top spot at the end of round number 3. He took a win in round number 2. 2 third places, meaning that he has got a substantial points gap to Arthur Pillard, the rider, who is in second place, 200 points separating them. Isaac Kennedy, a non-starter here today. They're second and a third place in Sarion, but not making it here today. And lots of news in some of the previous rounds as well. Number of non-starters across lots of those race categories as well. Not even making it to the start line here.
Yeah, riders not making it to the start, including Jessie Asmus and Veronica Stariska in the under 23 categories. Isaac Kennedy, unfortunately, having that fall in round 2, and he's not made it on either.
So we've seen a number of our great riders in on the track already. It's going to be interesting to see if anybody can repeat their wins from any of those previous rounds, and great to see such a diversity in those elite categories, the men's races and the women's races.
My name is Molly Simpson, and I'm a Canadian BMX racer. Yeah, I think the key skills and the attributes for a BMX racer is, you need to have that explosive power and strength, obviously, to get around technical tracks, short tracks, long tracks, and you just need to be kind of a fit, physical athlete. For me, my key attributes would be my explosiveness and my power. I find that I'm really strong out of the start gate, and down the first straight is definitely my strength, and I use it to an advantage. In Sarians last weekend, rounds 1 and 2, I think things kind of clicked for me, and I, truly believed in myself the whole weekend. And then obviously day 1, getting a podium, a 3rd place, was satisfying, and then walking into day 2, I had that a bit more belief in myself and more focus, and was able to put together a win, and yeah, that felt brilliant. I've been dreaming of winning a World Cup and having the Red Series winner plate, and having it now is a dream come true. And I'm looking forward to pushing the limits and chasing some more wins for sure. In 2022, I had set a bet with my coach, and I told him, when we win our first World Cup, I want you to dye your hair red. And he took it, and here we are. And
He's got bright fire truck red hair at the moment, and honestly it just motivates me even more to see that and to have that relationship with him and that trust in him, and it's just such a good bond that we have. Yeah, I think this season has kind of clicked for me in the sense that I'm, maybe a little bit more experienced, especially with going to the Olympics last year. I just feel like I'm really coming into my own, and I'm where I want to be, but I want to keep pushing the limits and keep progressing, and I don't think I've reached my peak yet. I haven't. Coming into this weekend, I feel more confident. I'm bringing more confidence into this weekend than last weekend for sure, and I'm gonna take that as a positive and just use it to fuel me.
And that women's competition, a really interesting battle with 3 different winners in 3 rounds. So let's take a look at the best of the quarter-finals that we've had so far. A real battle into those 8s and into the quarters. Riders going out at all stages, Reg.
Yeah, Bethany Shriever putting a really good lap together in these quarterfinals. She had Maylene Kelstrup just there behind her as she came out of that first turn. Gabriella Bolle-Carrillo going through as well. So good lap there from Bethany. She just took that win, 33.720 seconds. As we moved on to the Women Elite quarterfinal number 2, we had Laura Smulders of the Netherlands, the winner of round number 3, and she was on the inside of the gate. And Laura looked like she was having fun. She looked like she was really enjoying herself, and it certainly proved that way in her riding. You can see nice and relaxed as they go towards that second corner, and she's making it look absolutely superb. Laura Smulders taking the win from Lauren Reynolds, and Manon Veenstra coming through in that 4th spot.
And a number of top riders not making it through. People like Delaney Vaughan not coming in through. A number of riders not making the start. People like Axel Etienne, who came down in round number 3. So some real interesting big names not able to progress.
Yep, certainly got mixed up, but it was business as usual for Saya Sakakibara of Australia. And she had Molly Simpson right there with her in the quarterfinal as they went into that turn. And all the action was carrying on behind as Camille Mer and Indy Keepers got together. And Lightning Lexus Colby in there in that 4th spot as they went in and out of that final turn. But it was Sakakibara and Simpson bringing it to the line. Camille Mer in there in 3 with Colby hanging on for the 4.
So the series leader looking good, surely looking for a race win here today in that final. She makes her way in through from the quarterfinals into our semis that are coming up very shortly indeed.
Yep, as we moved on to the men elite quarterfinals, Philipp Schaub of Germany on the inside that did not get the start that he wanted, but it got even worse for Hugo Marzalak, who hit the deck before they got to the first corner, and Cameron Wood went in there in 2 behind Arthur Pilard and Simba Darnand.
So the results of the men's elite quarterfinals, heat 1 with Pilar going through. Pilar, of course, the rider who had held the top of the series standings but was deposed into 2nd place by Sylvain Andre. Arboleda, another rider who was looking to improve on his preceding round but didn't get a great start there.
No, he didn't get a great start. He banged elbows with Chris Alden at the bottom of the hill, and that just ruined his momentum. Meanwhile, Drew Polk was working his way into that 3rd spot, and the reigning under-23 men's champion who's moved up to elite, Oliver Moran, picking up a top 4.
So heat 2, you can see that result on your screen with Molina going in through. Real mix-ups going on. Rico Bierman, the winner of the preceding round in this heat.
Rico Bierman, again, struggling out of the start, and Cullen Isidore was right there in the middle, but there were no such problems for Simon Marquardt as he led them out of the turn. Jakob Sardak going through with Sylvain Andre and Leo Garoyan.
So a real shake-up with no Bierman moving in through. You can see Marquardt, Andre, Sardak and Garoyan. So real changes, number of riders changing, things moving in our quarterfinals. It means that when we move to our semi-finals, we've got some of our top stars and we've got some riders maybe getting a chance of something new. So Let's move on to our semi-finals here at Papendal at round number 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. We're going to kick off with our women's under-23 semi-finals. And Michelle Vissing, 3 from 3, absolutely dominant. She heads the point standings at the moment. She's at 170 points clear of Favrel in second place, Greenough in third overall, Hutt in fourth, Van Sanford in fifth, Stariska in sixth place, seventh is Mouget, and eighth is Koskova. But we don't have Stariska. As you can see, Rich, the moisture's there. The rain has been coming down.
Yeah, the weather's definitely changing here in Papendal, and Michelle Vissing has opted for lane 8 on the outside again, and you've got Lily Greenough in lane 1, Marie Favrel in gate number 2. So the top 3 in the series have all hit podiums. They're all in the same semi-final, and it's going to make for some serious action. As we take a look at Lily Greenough of New Zealand in gate number 1, Michelle Vissing at the opposite end of the gates in gate number 8. And then you've got Sabina Korsakova, Laura Mouget, Jodie Vimont, all in there as well. Charlotte Guy of Australia. It's set to be an explosive women's semi-final in the under-23 class. Riders poised and ready to go. The nerves jangling at this point, but as soon as that gate drops, all the nerves go away. The adrenaline kicks in, and 4 riders are going to make it to the under-23 women's final.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
As the rain starts to fall here in Papendal, the women under-23 first semi-final is go. Michelle Vissing is going into that first turn first. 2 riders down on the first straight, and it's the top 3 in the series. Vissing, Greenough, Favrel, that is your 1, 2, 3 at the moment. Who's going to pick up that 4th spot? Sabina Korsikova creeping up on the back of the Colombian rider, I think, as they go in and out of the turn. It is Cadero in that 4th spot, but she's getting pressure as they come down towards the final corner. Michelle Vissing leading it out. It's Vissing, Greenoff, Favrel. That's going to be a 1, 2, 3. Will Cadero hang on for the 4? Is she going to get caught to the line? Cadero's held on to it. The coach is delighted, but Michelle Vissing wins another semi-final from gate 8. She's looking good once again.
What a race. An amazing ride there by Maura Cordero. We saw her really good in the quarters and in the earlier round. She was looking strong. The coach absolutely delighted, as you say. But you could just see Greenoff going down. The big 3 favourites going through. 3 riders, though, not making it down the straight.
It was actually Marie Favrel who took the tumble on that first straight, just mixing it up slightly with the jerseys. I do apologise for that, but as they came into that third straight, it was Michelle Vissing and Lily Greenoff out there 1 and 2. Laura Mouget in there in 3. Cadero in 4. Sabina Korsikova tried to get onto the back wheel of the Colombian rider and couldn't quite make it work.
So Favrel, the rider who's sitting in second place in the series, standings moving from 3rd to 2nd, not going to make it into our finals, only managing to make the semi-finals. Going to be a big loss in terms of points, hopefully picking herself up and able to race soon. So Vissing, Greenoff, Mouget and Maura Cordero going through. Korsakova unable to get around Maura Cordero there. She took the inside line on that last turn, not making it through. Vimont, Guy and Favrel, the riders that are not going to progress onwards at this stage. And don't forget all of the results, all of the race results along with those series standings on the UCI website. That's www.uci.org. You can go to the discipline, which is BMX racing, and then from there go into the World Cups, into the hubs as the rain starts to fall. Now, Rich, we've got people watching from all over the globe here, and we've got riders who are uber fans who know everything. They'll know exactly what tyre pressure is there. They'll know how many threads are in the tyres. But we've also got relatively new people to BMX. When the rain comes down, what are the big changes? What do we see? What's the differences?
I think the most important thing when the rain comes is the fact that, the turns are going to get greasy. They're going to get slippery. It's just going to make it that little bit more kind of edgy as they go into the turns. People are just going to have to proceed with a little bit more caution, and sometimes riders do slide out in turns. If you're going for 4th place in a semi-final, you have no option but to get in there and have a go. So if you're going to have a go, expect some action in the corner, especially the final one, because it is quite tight, and you'll certainly see some action coming along very shortly.
And from the riders who are in that gate, they've got to go down the start hill, down that start hill, an artificial hill, essentially a scaffolding type hill, a stage construction to build that height up there. So an artificial surface on the way down with plenty of grip on it, but that compression at the bottom going to take effect. So let's move across into the second of our semi-finals here, which 4 riders will move through into our finals.
Yeah, we're looking at Lizzie van Schindel of the Netherlands there on the inside on that 535 plate. She's got Alina Beck of Germany right next to her. Renske van Sanfort on the outside. There is Emily Hunt of Great Britain out in gate number 6.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate drops on the second of the women under 23 semi-finals. Renske van Sanfort making her move across. Looks like it's going to be the Colombian rider Fayed Mercado who's going to lead it into the turn. She's in there in 1. Renske van Sanfort been shuffled back into that 3rd spot. It's Lizzie van Schindel of the Netherlands who's in there in 2. Where is Emily Hutt? She's back there in 7th at the moment. So the British rider got it all to do. But in there is Sienna Harvey in that 4th position. She's already had a 6th place in round number 3. Is she going to make her second final? She's under pressure in the final turn. Looks like Singalani's gone underneath. Oh, Sienna Harvey hits the deck. Singalani takes it. Emily Hutt's out as well. Mercado van Sanfort going 1 and 2. Disaster for the British riders.
It was indeed, and that was a massive dive down the inside. We've seen moves like that not stick before, but Singalani there absolutely nailing that inside line. Carried the pace, normally so tight you can't carry speed. You're not seeing that from the riders. Singalani threw it around there like it was bone dry, no worries at all about grip levels on there, and just nailed it coming out, and that pressure there maybe leading to that mistake from Harvey.
Yeah, Francesca Singalani, she timed that move to perfection, and it was the Colombian rider Mercado who led it into the turn. Lizzie van Schindel was on the inside. Renske van Sanfort was there as well, and as he came into that second corner, Sienna Harvey was looking good for a second World Cup in a row, but you could feel the pressure coming from Singalani. She lined it up, she went to the outside, dived underneath. Sienna put everything in there to try and get it, unweighted herself on that final straight and ended up on the floor.
So the results we await to be confirmed. All smiles from Sherry Fayed Mercado, who really does like this track. She had a great ride on here in the preceding round as well, and took a 8th place, made it into the finals. So going to do that again. Confirmed result looks to me like it's going to be Fayed Mercado, Van Sanfort, Van Schindel, and Singalani. And Van Sanfort also with another great ride. Moved up from 6th to 5th at the end of round number 2. Moving into round 3, and there are the confirmed results with Singalani in 4th place, Van Schindel in 3rd, Van Sanfort in 2nd, and Fayed Mercado taking top spot. They'll be in our finals a little bit later on. As the rain comes down, the riders finding all the shelter they can do. I hope the hair dye on Molly Simpson's coach is a permanent one and not one that's going to run in the rain and he gets red streaks down his face. But these riders, they're used to a lot of different conditions. Some riders, well, they do try and chase the sunshine and get as much training in elsewhere when it's sunny. Our men's under 23, they're stood out in the pouring rain at the moment at the top of that start gate, choosing their lane pick. And if anybody's missed it, just quickly explain, Rich, how that lane pick works.
Yeah, the faster you go in the earlier rounds, and the better finishes that you get, that gives you first gate pick in essence. So yeah, the further you are up the standings, the earlier your gate pick, the closer you are to the inside, the shorter the distance around that first turn. That's essentially it. Tim Goosen, Seal None list, going gates 1 and 2 in this one. Juan Velasquez Carmona in gate number 3. Alexis Pichinowski of France, the European champion, in gate number 4. He's got his compatriot Clément Rocheroux of France next to him in gate 5. Jan-Anton Skersbeck in 6. Marcus Leth in 7. Matisse Jacquet, who we see there on the screen, out in gate number 8. This men's under 23 class, it's so evenly spread, and it's the next generation coming through into the elite class.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Men under 23, semi-final number 1, heading down the hill. Goosen's on the inside. Pishanowski's working his way across. Is he going to pick up the whole shot? Here comes the rider from Denmark. Marcus left out in front. Jacques in there as well. Looks like Pishanowski's worked his way in. That is Clement Rocheroux trying to make his way through from about 5th at the moment. He's there in that 5th position, being chased down by the rider from the Netherlands, Goosen's, who's been shuffled right back to the back of the group as they go to the final corner. It's going to be left. Pishanowski, Jacques, that's going to be a 1, 2, 3. Clement Rocheroux's in there in 4, being chased down by Seal Nunless to the line. Rocheroux goes through in that 4th position. Tim Goosen's goes out. Marcus Leth putting a great lap in all the way from gate number 7.
An absolutely flying lap here. The riders who really can make this count here in terms of the overall, Pishanowski and Jacques currently in 3rd and 4th place. No, Jesse Asmus not starting because of that crash in round number 3. They really were looking to move through. They did that this time, but it was not smooth sailing. And Rocheroux, well, a real fight from him.
Yeah, Skersbeck had shut it down right out of the gate, so I'm assuming he was struggling with a bit of an injury at that point. But Left came across from 7, got himself into that first spot as they came out of the turn. Pishanowski was right there with him. Jacques looked good in 3. Rocheroux hung on for that 4th spot. Tim Goosen's will be ruining that lap. He'll be really, really disappointed to not get in from gate number 1.
So the first of our semi-finals done and dusted here in the men's under 23 competition at round number 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup in Papendal. Leth, Pishanowski, Jacques and Rocheroux, the riders going through. Virtually nothing splitting the riders behind that photo finish between Nunless and Goosen's, going down to 300ths of a second. So it shows you how close that was. The rain does indeed fall. You saw that change just advised earlier on by that graphic. It's raining cats and dogs, teaming it down. Rich and I, of course, in English, we have more words for rain, I think, even than Eskimos have for snow. We're going to try and avoid using too many of them today. Basically, it's where it's changed. The track that was dry and baking hot in all of the practice, in all of the preceding qualifying, from qualifying round number 1 through the last chance qualifiers right the way through 8s and into quarters, we saw a dry track. It started to get a little humid in the break in between. The weather's changed, it's blown in the rain, and now definitely things are just a little bit different, and the temperature dropping as well, which might suit a number of the riders.
Yeah, it'll just cool things down a little bit, just makes it easier to ride in those cooler conditions. But as we move up to the top of the gate for the second semi-final for the men under 23, the action is set to continue. We've got 2 Australian riders on the inside, Jordan Callum and Joshua Jolly. Series leader Jason Nordam in there in gate 3 with Matteo Faure in gate number 4. I've got my eye on Edgars Langmanis in gate 5. We've got Leo Laboujon, Thomas Materano, Casper Pipers of the Netherlands. He's already had a podium finish in this series. He's there on the outside in gate number 8 as we look at Joshua Jolly of Australia in gate number 2. That is your series leader. Jason Nordam has taken the first 3 rounds. He's looking to take round number 4. He has his eyes on the prize. And will he win another prize here in Papendal? As we await the starter's command, which is due imminently.
Okay, riders, random start. Rider is ready. Watch the gate.
Men under 23, semi-final number 2, leaving the gate. Joshua Jolly's got to go on. Here comes Langmanis from the outside, doing it for Latvia as they go in and out of the turn. Joshua Jolly picking up that whole shot, but look who's stacked up behind him. The 2 Dutch riders are in there. Looks like Materano has already exited the track on the right-hand side, so his semi-final is done. That is Matteo Faure in that 4th spot. Casper Pipers going through in 3. Nordam in 2. Joshua Jolly, the Australian, is going to lead it in and out of that final turn. Looks like his compatriots. Jordan Callum is not going to make it through. Jolly takes it at the line. The 2 Dutch riders behind in 2 and 3. Faure in 4. Callum out in that 5th spot.
Incredible race, really, really fast run down there from that gate. Pack Racing, good to see Joshua Jolly holding that line And Nordam, though, is he saving something back for going into the finals there? So at the moment, the two riders from the Netherlands going in immediately behind Joshua Jolly. That's the last of our semi-finals here in the men's under 23 competition. Jolly, Nordam, Pipers and Furry. So here in Papendal, the round number 4 of the 2025 UCI BMX Racing World Cup is seeing the rain fall as we look at the women's elite semi-finals coming up. Rich, we've got incredible weather, blazingly bone dry, now raining, it's coming down really heavily, it's drecked if you're up in Glasgow. It's definitely on the mildly moist if you're a Top Gear fan and you're used to talking about track conditions. The riders, though, they take it in their stride. And Sayasa Kakibara, a rider who we know spends the summer season in the Northern Hemisphere, in the southern season in the Southern Hemisphere in their summer, she's not going to be particularly happy about this, surely.
No, I think Sayasa Kakibara, you know, she'll be absolutely fine. If you spend any time in Europe, in Northern Europe, I think you've got no choice but to race in the rain. So, yeah, she'll be there whether we like it or whether we don't, and Saya will make the most of it, and you know, I'm sure she'll be there or thereabouts when her time comes to get on that gate. But talking of Australia, we've got Lauren Reynolds on the inside. We've got the winner of round number 2, Molly Simpson, just lining herself up on that gate, getting herself ready, wanting to take her second Elite World Cup win of the year. She's there on that 44, wanting to put clear daylight between herself and the rest of her competition. Malin Kelstrup of Denmark in gate number 3. Manon Veenstra right there in the middle of the gate. And Bethany Shriver of Great Britain, the former world and Olympic champion, has opted to line up in gate 8 on the outside. So we'll see if that strategy will pay off for her in the next minute or so.
So 4 riders move through from each of our semi-finals into our finals, all looking for those big point score so that they can move or improve their standings, hold on to the top spot maybe as they go through the big points for taking away the win here, getting on the podium at a World Cup. This round number 4 of 6.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
The Elite Women's semi-finals are underway. Molly Simpson of Canada getting a great start. She's got Malin Kelstrup right there next to her. Here comes Bethany Shriver of Great Britain into the turn. So Shriver, Simpson going 1 and 2. Kelstrup's in there in 3. Manon Veenstra's getting squeezed on the inside. She's been shuffled right out of the back. Her lap is over. That is Lauren Reynolds of Australia in that final qualifying position. That looks like Camille Mer of France, who's in there in 5, chasing down the Australian. She might have left herself just that little bit too much to do as they go in and out of the final turn. Bethany Shriver, Molly Simpson, they're going to go through 1 and 2. Kelstrup's going to pick up a 3. Lauren Reynolds in 4. Bethany Shriver coming across from gate 8. The strategy worked. I'm wondering if she's going to run that strategy again in the final.
And Bethany Shriver, she's got a massively fast start. She's got a lot of room to run at it in that first straight, and that seems to be making a difference to her. And she's also a rider who just seems to go well when we've got a two rounds next to each other on the second of those rounds.
Yeah, she seems to do better the second day round, but also we've got such a long first straight here at Papendal that you've got time to move yourself over from gate number 8. Bethany definitely made that one work for her. Molly Simpson right behind her as they came to the line. Kelstrup, she's been very, very consistent through these rounds. In there in 3, Lauren Reynolds in 4, Camille Mer wondering what might have been.
Kelstrup, of course, chasing a podium currently. Best result, a 4th place. She's going to be looking to move up on to that podium in those finals, along with Bethany Shriver, Molly Simpson and Lauren Reynolds, the 4 riders that go through from the first of our Elite Women's semi-finals. Coming up in the second of our semi-finals, well, we have the winner of the previous round of round number 3. And that is Laura Smulders. We've got in there Sayasa Kakibara. Zoe Clace is another previous winner of the rounds as well. This could be very, very interesting indeed as they come down here. It's going to be, I think, maybe closer potentially in that 4th, 5th, 6th spot, because that's where that battle, I think, is going to play out in this one.
Yeah, it's so even this second semi-final. You know, you've got Laura Smulders, you know, on one end of the gate, Meryl Smulders, her sister, on the other end of the gate, both Olympic bronze medalists, and Sais Kakibara in gate number 2, Clayson's in 3.
Meryl Smulders looked really good in the early rounds that we were watching.
Yeah, she certainly did. She struggled in the early rounds of the World Cup Series, but she's certainly picked up the pace in round 4, and hopefully she'll be in the final accompanying her sister Laura. Sais Kakibara, Olympic champion in gate number 2, also the reigning World Cup champion in women elites. Zoe Clayson's the European champion in gate number 3. Took that win in one of the earlier rounds at Sarrions. So certainly the level of talent and skill on this gate, proven by the amount of championships and medals that have been won.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Second semi-final, women elite heading down the hill. Zoe Clayson's last out of that gate, but first out of it is Saya Sakakibara of Australia, who's going to lead it into the turn. Laura Smulders on the inside. That looks like the American rider, Payne Rydnor, who's in there in 3, just trying to pick up who's in that 4th spot. I've got a feeling that it's Talia Burford in that final qualifying position. So some of the heavy hitters struggling at this particular moment in time as they go down towards the final corner. That looks like Layla Walker trying to make a move. Meryl Smulders trying to get in on the inside as well. They come out of the final turn. It's going to be Saya Kakibara, Lauren Reynolds going 1 and 2. Peyton Rydnor's going to make it in 3. Did Talia Burford get in? No, she didn't. Valentina Munoz Vanegas making it in for Colombia. But Saya Kakibara back to her best.
Saya Kakibara taking the top spot, going away at the first place with the first place there. 8th rider in and through Zoe Clayson's, 2nd in the series, 1 round 1, 6th in round 2, made the finals, 3rd place in round 3, but Clayson's not able to make it through to our finals. Big points lost for her not being in the finals, but we did see Smulders there looking very strong as well.
Yeah, Smulders look very, very strong. Both Laura and Meryl looking good as they came down that first straight. Obviously Laura on the inside and had a better line into the turn. Peyton Rydnor of the USA will be absolutely delighted to get into this World Cup final. And I thought Talia Burford might just have it on the line, but no, it was Vanegas of Colombia. So the Colombians having a great day in the elite women's competition. So
the confirmed results: Saya Kakibara in 1, Laura Smulders in 2, Peyton Ryder in 3, and Valentina Munoz Vanegas in 4. Burford, Smulders, Walker and Clayson's not making it through. They will have to now regroup, ready for the World Championships that comes up, and that is going to be taking place. It kicks off with the challenge at the end of July, going into early August, that first weekend in August. Our elite category races at those World Championships in Denmark. Here at Papendal, the UCI BMX Racing World Cup round number 4. We're going to move across now from the women's competition to the men's competition.
Yep, as we move on into the elite men semi-finals, first up on the gate, Hedy Clerté, Jakob Sardag, Sylvain Andre, Leo Garayan, Oliver Moran, Vannes Magdalens, Simon Marquardt and Jamie O'Brink. So certainly a mixture of speed, skill and championship winning potential. Hedy Clerté will be on the inside in gate number 1. Jamie O'Brink has opted for the outside again. He's gone to gate number 8, and you've only got to look at who's going to be towards the middle. Sylvain Andre, Leo Garayan and Oliver Moran. It's going to be a tough semi-final.
And Sylvain Andre, series leader, 1 win, 2/3 places, and he's done it often from the middle of the gate. He's done it from the middle of the pack. He scraped his way in and through. Currently goes into gate number 3 there. Garayan's been looking strong, Clerté's been looking strong. Jamie O'Brink, though, on the outside, has had that line dialed.
Yeah, he's certainly worked really hard at it all through the competition. Sylvain Andre, Olympic silver medalist there in gate number 3, bringing all his skills and experience to bear. And will he make another World Cup final? There is Jamie O'Brink on the outside in gate number 8. He's got Simon Marquardt next to him, the 2022 Elite Men World Champion. Vannes Magdalens of Belgium in gate number 6. As we await the starter's call.
Okay, Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Elite men's semi-final number 1 is go. Looks like Sylvain André's been left behind out of the gate. Eddie Clerté on the inside. Here comes Simon Marquardt into the turn. It's Clerté, Marquardt, Garayan 1, 2 and 4 because Jamie O'Brinkhoff, the Netherlands, has worked his way into 3. He keeps those jumps really, really low through that second straight and he's worked his way into second spot past Marquardt. But it's Clerté leading it through. Clerté, Brink, Marquardt. Who's going to get that spot? Here comes Sylvain André all over the back of Leo Garayan. He's looking for a way round. He's going to try and make his move down the final straight. Garayan's made a slight mistake. Sylvain André makes it in once again. 8th out of the gate to 4th across the line. That is how you do it. Sylvain André bringing all his experience to the World Cup semi-final and making yet another final here in Papendal.
8th out of that start gate. He moved up to 5th on turn number 1 there. He literally is the Harry Houdini. He gets out, you know, you can tie him in handcuffs, that man, put him at the back, he'll still get out of him and get his way to the front. I mean, just incredible skills to move up through. No panic as well, though, from that experience rider. And look how far back he is.
Yeah, I think he nudged the gate on the way out, which is what messed things up for Sylvain André. But you can see him already trying to pick out where he's going to work his way through. Went high, swung underneath to get a good run at that second straight, and he was already up to 5th in that point by the time he got to the second corner behind Leo Garayan. Meanwhile, Eddie Clerté and Jamie O'Brink were having their own personal battle out in front. Sylvain lined himself up. Leo Garayan must have known he was there because the mistake got made, and Sylvain André nipped through and nicked it at the line.
And Andre was on the outside there, wasn't he? And you could just see Garayan holding him back and holding him back, but he left Andre the straight run, whereas Garayan had to go to the left-hand side of the track and go around, not quite having enough and being eliminated at this stage. So our first 4 qualifiers are going through from the semi-finals into our finals. Eddie Clerté, who took the win, Jamie O'Brink in 2nd, Simon Marquardt in 3rd, and Sylvain André, the series leader, in 4th place in that, the first of our semi-finals. The challenges for Sylvain André's leadership of the World Cup at the moment, well, they're coming up now because we've got Arthur Pielard in here. He's the man who was deposed by Sylvain André.
Yeah. Arthur Pielard, winner of round number 1 in Sarrions. He's in gate number 3. We are looking at Cameron Wood of the USA. The USA BMX Pro Series champion. He's going to be looking for his first World Cup win of the year here in Papendal. Round number 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. Chris Alden, one of the other French riders, in there in the middle in gate number 4. Simba Darnand in there as well. Ross Cullen of Great Britain out in gate number 7. And in gate number 5 for the USA, also looking to make his first World Cup main event, it is Drew Polk. So plenty of speed, experience and raw bike riding talent in this second semi-final. I can't wait for it to unfold and see who'll be joining the other 4 riders in the final.
So Clerté, Brink, Marquardt and Andre already through. Which of these 4 will be joining them in our finals coming up later on in the show?
Riders just getting themselves lined up and ready. Cameron Wood of the USA in gate number 2. He's got Gonzalo Molina right there next to him. In gate 1, Pielard on the other side. Alden and Polk in the middle. And right out on the outside, Renaud Blanc of Switzerland. There is Arthur Pielard, the European champion, in that European champion's jersey. He'll be looking for his 2nd win of the season here today. So the tension builds as we wait the starter's instruction. Eddie Clerté, we're watching on from the sidelines to see who'll be battling in the final.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate drops on that second semi-final. Pilard's got himself a good start. He's got Cameron Wood right there next to him as they head towards turn number 1. Ross Cullen making his move across. Is he going to be able to get into a top 4 position? Yes, he is. Blanc's in there in 3. Drew Polk's been shuffled out of the back. He's in the traffic jam to try and get his way through to the front, but it is Pielard, Cullen, 1 and 2. Cameron Wood in there in 3, looking like Simba Darnan's trying to get himself in there as well. Drew Polk's working his way down the inside. He might have just left it that little bit too late as they come in and out of that rapidly drying final corner. It's going to be Pilard, Cullen, Wood. I think Blanc made it in as well. It was a photo finish with Darnan, but I've got a feeling Blanc nicked it on the line. Drew Polk's going to have to settle for 6. Pilard back on form, and Ross Cullen makes the World Cup final.
So it's setting up to be an absolutely gripping final with the not just the win here at round number 4 at stake in that men's elite race, but also the series leaders to go away from here. Out from the gate here, very, very close as they came through. Pilard had to hold his nerve coming in to turn number 1.
Yeah, he certainly did. Pilard had to hold his nerve. He had Cameron Wood right there with him. Ross Cullen had worked his way across from the outside into a strong second spot. And Drew Polk was desperately trying to find a way through from the back of the pack. It wasn't going to happen on this particular occasion. The guys in front were just way too fast, and Pilard came into that final corner in the lead with Cullen behind him. And Blanc was battling away with Simba Darnand, and as they got to the line, there was a desperate lunge. Time and scoring telling us that Renaud Blanc has just pipped it on the line by the narrowest of margins. And he's going to make his first World Cup final of the year.
So here are the scores from our timing team, doing an amazing job of splitting our riders. Blanc taking it from Darnan there, 3 thousandths of a second separating those two riders, and that's the difference between going through. Pilard, Cullen, Wood going through with Blanc there. They will be in the final with Cloete, Brigg, Marquardt and Andre. And it's going to be a cracker in the men's elite. It's going to be a cracker in all of our finals on the way through. And of course, as we move through, this is the last of our races at Papendal in the World Cup this year before we move across to Santiago del Estero in Argentina in September. But in between, we've got those World Championships. Taking that confidence from here, moving forward, will be really important. And what you do now is going to be key. I mean, you could come out of this with a massive confidence boost if you can take that win.
Yeah, there'll be a massive confidence boost for the riders who are on top of the podium as we go through round number 4. But there's plenty going on, and it's only a one-day event at the World Champs, so anything can happen.
So here at Papendal, it is round 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. We have got coming up the finals. This is going to be really interesting. We're looking at seeing who's going to go out on top here. I mean, the under-23 competitions have been about domination so far at the front of the races, at the top of the standings. Big points gaps, big point scores, behind a lot tighter with lots of changes in there, and sort of 14, 15 riders making it into our finals across 3 rounds so far, and familiar names once again.
Yeah, Michelle Vissing has been dominant in this women under-23s final, but she's got Lily Greenoff right there, just chomping at the bit to try and take that World Cup win away from her. So Michelle and Lily 1 and 2 in the standings at the minute. Faya Mercado, the third pick, Laura Muget, Renske van Sanfort, Lissy van Schindel, Francesca Singolani and Dominica Mora Cadero. So a real international mix in this women under-23 final.
And Green is going to be looking to take advantage of the fact that Favrel has not made it in and through to this round. Vissing is going to be looking to make it 4 from 4. That would be absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, the confidence must be brimming in Michelle Vissing. She's gone out to gate number 8 again. She said after round number 3 that was the gate that she wanted. She managed to make it work, and she's looking to make it work again in round number 4. Gate 7 out of Italy, it is Francesca Singolani. Gate number 6 out of France. On the 509 plate, it is Laura Muget. Gate 5 out of the Netherlands. On the 535, it's Lissy van Schindel. Gate number 4 on the 520, Sharid Nicole Fayad Mercado from Colombia. Gate 3 already hit the podium in the World Cup Series this year from the Netherlands. It's Renske van Sanfort. Gate number 2 out of Ecuador, Dominica Mora Cadero. And on the inside, gate number 1 out of New Zealand, looking for her first win as an under-23, it is Lily Greenoff.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Women under 23 heading down the hill. Green off on the inside. Renske van Sanfort as well. Here comes Michelle Vissing. Is she going to have it all her own way into the turn? Yes, she is. Vissing taking the whole shot. Van Sanfort in 2. Green off in 3. Laura Mouget in there in 4 at the moment. There's a posse of riders chasing her down that second straight and into the turn. But look who's out in front. It's looking like we're going to have 4 from Michelle Vissing as we head into the final corner. Vissing Van Sanfort. It's going to be another level as 1 and 2. Lily Greenoff's gone down in the final turn. Who's going to get that 3rd position? Vissing gets it. Van Sanfort in 2. Cadero in 3. Mouget in 4. But Lily Greenoff sliding out in that final turn.
Well, Vissing dominant on the way down there, and a great ride, you've got to say, there by Cadero going in through, can't quite believe it, shakes her head almost in disbelief there, slumps down over the bars. You've got to feel for Lily Greenoff. They were coming through, she was holding position, she had the pace and just slid out there, and that will have put a big dent in her points score here today. Favrel, of course, also going out earlier on, but a great riding there by the 2 riders from the Netherlands. You can see Michelle Vissing there in the national champions jersey. Van Sanfort there alongside. At the very start of that race, Rich, they nearly took each other out. It was very close coming into turn 1, wasn't it, as Vissing came across?
Yeah, they were very, very close as they came out of the gates. You know, as they came towards that first turn, you could see that they were elbow to elbow at this point, and I was thinking, oh, is one of them going to take out the other one? Just Michelle Vissing just getting her nose out in front and leading into that second straight. And Lily Greenoff was in there in 3, and Cadero was in 4th at that point. This Colombian coach is going to have an absolute field day. He's loving watching his riders today, and you could just see Lily Greenoff slide. The back wheel came round. That ended her challenge. Cadero taking that 3rd spot. Mouget in 4, but it was all about Dutch domination. 1 and 2, Vissing and Van Sanfort.
And the crowd appreciating their racing, their riding here today. Big hosts going down there amongst the South Americans as well. The result there, though, really for Mora Cordero. Dominica Mora Cordero, the rider, taking 3rd place here today. She'll be on that podium alongside Renske van Sanfort. And, of course, our race winner, Michelle Vissing, who takes away win number 4 from 4.
Michelle, many congratulations. 2 finals here in Papendal and 2 wins. How much have you enjoyed this weekend of racing here on your home track?
Yeah, it feels amazing to ride here in my home track, and it feels amazing to win 4 times in a row.
Yeah, 4 times in a row after backing up last weekend in Sarian. What's happened to you this season? What's the difference in you this season that you've won every race you've been in?
Yeah, I'm enjoying my ride. Good gates, good track speed, and yeah.
And please, one answer in Dutch for our Dutch viewers and the fans here in Papendal about your wins this weekend and your season so far.
Bedankt iedereen, nogmaals bedankt. Ja, het was echt waanzinnig. Bedankt.
Thank you very much.
Dank je.
4 from 4 indeed, and happy riders are fast riders. It's a phrase that applies whatever bike you ride. You know, just when riders just get into that groove, they're happy, they've got a great time going on. They get that smile going, they get that speed going, and they take away some fast performances. And it's going to be all smiles on the podium. A fantastic ride here, taking away a 3rd place. It is Dominica Mora Cordera of Ecuador taking 3rd place, taking 2nd place, adding to her points, stunning the overall series, stunning Renske van Sanfort of the Netherlands, and it is her countrywoman Michelle Vissing taking top spots and extending her lead at the top of the rankings. It's not quite unassailable yet, but my goodness, it's looking close.
Yeah, definitely looking close. You know, Michelle Vissing, 4 wins in a row, absolute domination for the Dutch rider. You know, it's just great to have a compatriot right there behind her as well, Renske van Sanfort. And yeah, giving the crowd here in Papendal exactly what they came for.
well, certainly puts her in the hot seat for being a firm favourite going into the World Championships coming up, but not all that far away as we go into August. But we have before that our men's under 23 final, our next race here at Papendal, round number 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. This promises to be an absolute cracker, and again we are looking at a Netherlands 1-2-3 so far. Can it be a 4th win for Jason Nordam? Going to put you on the spot, Rich. Can he do it? Will he do it?
It's going to be very, very close. He's in gate number 2, Jason Nordam, and he's got Joshua Jolly of Australia right there next to him. If there's ever going to be a full-on drag race to the first turn, it was going to be between these two riders. Casper Piepers out in lane number 3, Alexis Pishanowski in gate number 4. You know, so much talent, so much speed in those first 4 gates. I can't wait to see how it unfolds.
So 1 rider from Australia, 2 riders from the Netherlands, 4 riders from France, and 1 Danish rider there in the shape of Marcus Leith. Oh, it will be time to see just who is going to come out on top spot as Vissing is congratulated down there, and you can just see the big BMX family that is the races, the riders. They're together so much of the time. They really do build up those relationships, don't they? That really do mean that riders are happy when they win, but they're also happy to see other people taking the win.
Yeah, they definitely are. As we look at Marcus Leith of Denmark out in gate number 8, he'll be hoping for some similar success to Michel Vissing when that gate drops. Next to him, from France, gate number 7, it is Mathis Jacquet. Gate 6, also from France, it's Matteo Fare. Gate 5, yet another French rider, a rising star of the French BMX scene, it's Clément Rocheroux. The European champion, winner of round number 1 in Sarrions, in gate number 4, it's Alexis Pishanowski. And gate number 3, the national champion of the Netherlands, is Casper Piepers. Gate 2, winding that crowd up. He's already had 3 wins. He's looking for a 4th. It's Jason Nordam. And the man looking to stop him on the inside, Australia expects from Joshua Jolly.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate drops on the men under 23. I cannot wait to see how this one unfolds, and it's unfolding more or less as we expected, with the battle into the turn between Nordam, Jolly and Pishanowski, and it looks like Joshua Jolly has worked his way to the front of the pack, so is Nordam's unbeaten record under threat. He has a quick look to see Casper Piepers trying to dive his way underneath. They are 3 abreast going down the straight. Something's going to have to give in the final turn. Pishanowski's in there in 4. Joshua Jolly still in control. Nordam's going to have to really put it down on this final straight. Joshua Jolly, is he going to hold it to the line? Nordam's right on him. Joshua Jolly did enough, I think. We'll have to wait for the photo. Nordam in 2, Piepers in 3, Pishanowski in 4, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Joshua Jolly did enough to take the win.
It looked good there, and as they were coming into that final turn, I mean, they were looking over their shoulder time and time again. They wanted to see where the riders were. They needed to keep a check at just the skill level, the ability to go so fast into such a difficult part of the course, coming around what is so critical whilst keeping a check on what's going on around you. An absolute champion's ride there from Joshua Jolly, and the man who breaks that winning run of Jason Nordam, just having it confirmed. It is Joshua Jolly who is confirmed as our race winner, coming through 400ths of a second quicker than Jason Nordam on the line, confirmed by that photo finish.
Yeah, an absolutely sparkling first straight from Joshua Jolly from gate number 1. We knew it was just going to be a horsepower battle into that first turn, and Pishanowski had worked his way across as well, and I honestly thought Alexis Pishanowski was going to steal away the whole shot from the pair of them as they went into into turn number 1. Jolly was just slightly behind, but he had the shorter distance to cover the inside line, took it away from Nordam, and Nordam was having a quick look just to see where Pishinowski was, and then Casper Papers just popped up and went, yep, I'm here as well, you've got me to deal with. They were 3 abreast coming down the straight. Pishinowski wasn't out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Jolly looked the wrong side. Nordam could have dived underneath in that final turn. But as they came to the line, Joshua Jolly of Australia taking his first World Cup win as an under-23. But it was so close, and Nordam will still be on top of the standings, I think.
Yes. He will. It was that was going to stay the way it was. The points gap 214 points between first and second place in the overall standings. 165 for the win to Joshua Jolly, but Jason Nordam taking second place means that points gap is not going to be huge there. So Papers taking third place, Nordam taking second. Joshua Jolly takes the win in round number 4.
Josh, many congratulations, your first World Cup win. What does it mean to get that first gold medal under the belt?
Oh man, it means like the world right now. I've put in so much work. The last 3 rounds I haven't found any luck, and to get it today, it's the best thing ever.
The last 3 rounds have been dominated by Jason Nordam, and you managed to hold them off somehow. Talk us through how you managed to do that today.
After my crash yesterday, I was like in my head a bit last night. Today I just had the fuel, had the fire. Went through all my rounds today, kept landing flat into the corner, so I had to fix that up. But yeah, just had a bit more fuel and got it done.
It's a little while now into the next World Cups in Santiago del Estero, World Championship before that. What do you think this will do for you going forward?
It will bring me a lot more confidence coming into the World Champs, try and get my second rainbow jersey, and yeah, just keep going throughout the season.
Josh, well done. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Well, big smiles from Joshua Jolly, number 1 here today at round number 4 of the 2025 UCI BMX Racing World Cup in our men's under 23. Let's come in taking 8th place, Jackie taking 7th, Far taking 6th, Rosho taking 5th, Alexis Pikanowski, a man who was really looking to score big, not making the podium, but your top 3 here today. Casper Pipers taking away 3rd place here from the Netherlands. You can see that national championship sleeve on his left arm, on right hand side of the screen. Jason Nordam, that winning run has been stopped, but my goodness, he still holds the top step, and I think upon reflection we'll think, well, still doing well. But the man who took the race in centre stage, Joshua Jolly, he is now our winner here at round number 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. He's sandwiched in between our 2 Netherlands rider here in Papendal. Well, look at the emotion and the contrast there between Nordam sitting against the Harris fencing there, absolutely gutted, and Jolly there, all smiles as he came in and through, smiling, happy, goes back, says thank you very much to the crowd for the support as well, and definitely a great result for him, and great to see that progress taking the win.
Yeah, Joshua Jolly just looked absolutely superb, although I must say Jason Nordam looked like he was absolutely fuming on that podium. He knows he's missed out on another World Cup win, but he'll bring it back for rounds 5 and 6. As we move to the women elite final, ready next up, we've got 2 Australians in there, Saya Sakakibara and Lauren Reynolds. Molly Simpson, winner of round number 2. Merlin Kelstrup's in there as well. Laura Smulders, winner of round 3. Bethany Shriver, Peyton Ridenauer, Valentina Munoz Vanegas. Will the Colombian resurgence continue? Those 8 riders are on the gates. Got a couple of Olympic champions in there. Laura Smulders, 28 World Cup wins. Will it be win number 29? We will soon find out. It's the Women Elite Final up next.
And in terms of the wins so far, Zoe Clayson's not in our final here, not making that. She took the win in round number 1, sits second in those series standings. Molly Simpson has made the final. She took the win in round number 2, didn't have a great round number 3, didn't make the finals. Laura Smulders taking that win, as you say, Rach, and you wouldn't bet against her with the speed, the pace she's got. She doesn't have, though, gate number 1. That is going to be Saya Sakakibara, who takes gate 1 with Reynolds in gate 2, Simpson in gate 3. You've got to wonder whether Bethany Shriver in gate 8 is going to do what she has been promising. She's definitely all smiles, and that's a good sign.
Yeah, we'll definitely see what Bethany's got. We've got Peyton Ridenauer in gate 7 and an always smiling Laura Smolder. She's having fun in gate number 6. And another big smile from Valentina Munoz-Vanegas in gate number 5. Gate 4, doing it for Denmark on that 75 plate, it is Maylene Kelstrup. Molly Simpson, winner of round number 2 in Sarion, she's there in gate number 3. Lauren Reynolds of Australia, multi-time Olympian, gate number 2, and the reigning Olympic champion and World Cup champion Saya Sakakibara, gate number 1. Will she be able to get back to winning ways?
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Elite women leave the gate, round number 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. Who's going to take the victory? Here comes Bethany Shriver from the outside. Is she going to pick up the whole shot? Yes, she is. The Great Britain rider out in front. Saya Sakakibara in there in 2. Molly Simpson in 3. Lauren Reynolds in there in 4 with Laura Smulders in 5. But it is the Olympic champion from Tokyo, Bethany Shriver of Great Britain, out in front. Saya Sakakibara chasing her down into that final turn. It looks like Bethany Shriver's going to bring it home, exactly like she did in the World Championships in 2021. Big shout from Bethany Shriver as she crosses the line. Saya Sakakibara in 2, Molly Simpson in 3, Lauren Reynolds in 4. But you could tell Bethany Shriver wanted that one.
All smiles at the top of the hill, even bigger smiles now that she's down and across the line. Plan made, plan executed, mission accomplished. And you can see the congratulations there for Beth Shriver there from Great Britain, your race winner here today, ahead of Saya Sakakibara in 2, Molly Simpson in 3, Lauren Reynolds in 4, Laura Smulders in 5, Marlene Kelstrup in 6, Peyton Reiner in 7, and sliding out on that last corner was Valentina Munoz-Vanegas, the rider just not able to make it round that last turn in with those leaders. Take us through this race. I mean, what a move from the outside to come across, and she had to nail it on this turn. She had to be there right in front.
Yeah, Bethany Shriver threw all her chips in the middle of the table and gambled on lane number 8 because they have a long first straight here at Papendal, and it absolutely paid off, and she was being followed around by Saya Sakakibara. It was almost like they were junior women again back at the World Championships of 2017. These two riders battling all the way to the line. Molly Simpson in there in that 3rd spot with Lauren Reynolds. Going through in 4th, Laura Smulders. I'm sure she was smiling and having fun in that 5th spot as we see the Colombian rider hit the deck. Meanwhile, Bethany Shriver was taking her first World Cup win of the season. Saya Sakakibara in 2 with the red plate, and Molly Simpson in there in 3, yet another podium.
Well, another podium, and Saya Sakakibara coming into this at the top of the standings. That is going to be another 2nd place. That means that is going to be 3 second places out of 4 rounds for Saya Sakakibara. And Molly Simpson, another podium for her. Simpson already with a 3rd place and a win. That's a 2nd, 3rd place of the season for her. That season continues well. And Shriver, well, first win. She was up on the podium already. She took a 2nd place at round number 2. And you can see those confirmed results on your screen. Bethany Shriver taking away the win, 33.702 seconds. Sakakibara in 2, Simpson in 3, but no doubting your race winner, Beth Shriver.
Bethany Shriver, you're back on top of the World Cup podium. First time since Santiago del Estero a couple of years ago. How good is it to be back there?
Oh, it feels unreal. Don't think people realise how much I needed that. It's been a long time coming. Been working so hard. It's my favourite track, favourite place to be, so I'm glad I could finish off on a high.
Talk us through how you win today from lane 8, and you also set a new fastest lap in that final.
Wicked. Yeah, I'm well happy. One of my goals was to get that yellow plate, so I'm happy with that. But yeah, struggled yesterday a bit with my start, so I thought, right, let's just play it safe and go in 8. Hasn't failed me, so yeah, I'm well happy.
As I say, it's been a couple of years since you've been on the top step of the podium. Paris perhaps didn't go the way you wanted the Olympics. Is this maybe just the sort of kickstart you need for the rest of your season and going into the next Olympiad?
Yeah, 100%. Like, it's obviously hard coming away from something like that, but there's so many more races. I'm young. Like, BMX is a crazy, crazy sport. I'm very lucky to be a part of it and it to be my job, so just making the most out of every single moment I get to do it.
Thanks a lot, Beth. Well done.
Thank you. Cheers.
Well, certainly made the most of the moment here today, going from that outside in, and that was the game plan. Executed that, took the fastest lap as well. Rich, so she'll get that yellow plate for fastest lap of the day as we move across to Santiago del Estero, which is round 5, but that is a long way away in September. World Championships before, you know Beth Schraver well. Is this what she's going to need to kickstart her onwards?
Yeah, I think it's going to kickstart her season for sure, especially in Copenhagen.
Well, she's certainly set herself up well for that. 3 amazing riders, 3 amazing athletes here today. Molly Simpson taking away 3rd place here for Canada. A 2nd place for Sayaka Ibarra, who will retain her lead on the series standings overall. Your race winner today, Beth Schraver of Great Britain, taking centre stage, taking that 1st place and becoming the 4th winner of the 4 rounds of the World Cup so far in that elite competition. 4 rounds, 4 winners. It's wide open in terms of wins. Sayaka Ibarra at the top of the standings, just starting to stretch that lead out a little.
Yeah, the consistency of Sayaka Ibarra definitely still paying off. She's still going to be on top of the standings with that red plate. But the confidence boost for Bethany Shriver as we head towards those World Championships in Copenhagen at the beginning of August. I'm hoping it's going to kickstart her season. As we move on to the men elite final here at Papendal, round 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Championships. 8 of the fastest men in the world lined up on that gate, including Eddie Clerté, Cameron Wood, Arthur Pilard, Renaud Blanc, Sylvain Andre, Simon Marquardt, Jamie O'Brink and Ross Cullen.
You can hear that crowd, Rich, for Jamie O'Brink on there. I mean, they're going to give him some serious shouts and support up on the top there. Cullen doing a good ride to come in and through here. In terms of the overall, Andre scrapes himself into the finals. He's leading. He's ahead of Pilard. They're both going to be clear of Kennedy, who's not racing here. Wood, Bierman, Brink, they've got it here. They've got a chance to actually move up and really put the pressure on Andre.
Yeah, certainly they've got opportunities to pick up points, move up the standings, but they've got to get through this World Cup final first and get themselves a decent result, as we see Simon Marquardt picking his gate, and he's opted for gate number 6. Now, Ross Cullen of Great Britain taking the exact same tack as Bethany Shriver, going out to gate number 8. And Jamie O'Brink of the Netherlands, you'll be able to hear the crowd go wild for their favourite rider from the Netherlands. Gate number 6, the 2022 Elite Men World Championship from Switzerland. It is Simon Marquardt, the series leader on the 3 plate. So much skill, so much experience. It's Sylvain Andre. Talking of skills, on the 373, there's not many more skill on a bike than Renaud Blanc. The 130, the winner of round number 1 in Sarrions. The European champion, it's Arthur Pilard. The USA BMX Pro Series champion in gate number 2, it's Cameron Wood. And on the inside, looking for his very first World Cup win as an elite rider, it's Eddie Clerté. The Elite Men final, round number 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup. Here we go.
Okay, riders, random start. Rider is ready. Watch the gate.
Gate drops on the Elite Men final. 8 of the fastest riders in the world heading down that hill towards turn number 1. Ross Cullen of Great Britain has been shot out of a cannon. He's going to lead it from gate 8. Will it be a British win in Elite Men and Elite Women? We've got 2 more straights before we find out. Cameron Wood in there in 2. Looks like moves are being made for that 3rd spot. And Eddie Clerté getting involved. Pilard's in there in 4. Ross Cullen. This will be his first ever World Cup win if he brings it across the line. He's stretching his lead out. Ross Cullen of Great Britain is going to take it on the line. Cullen takes it from Wood. Andre and Pilard battling for 3. Ross Cullen's brought it home for Great Britain. It's all gone the way of the British and Elite Women and Elite Men.
Well, what a turnaround, and you can see there the women's British champion, Bethany Shriever, the winner in the women's elite. They're congratulating Ross Cullen for his race win here today. Cullen in 1, Wood in 2, Andre in 3. I tell you something, I'm not sure he was going meep down the straight there, but my goodness, he did go as fast as a roadrunner. I mean, that was some speed, and he stayed out of trouble. There was that fight behind him. It almost seemed to just delay that chase, and it gave him the space to do his stuff.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to get away as they came into that final corner. You could see the riders in 2, 3 and 4, you know, Cameron Wood, Sylvain Andre, Arthur Pilar battling away. But this is a picture perfect lap from Ross Cullen. He couldn't have asked for any more. Immediately turning on the turbochargers, getting himself across into turn 1. I don't know if his parents, Paul and Sally are in the crowd or whether they're back home in Preston, but I can guarantee there will be tears flowing from his mum and dad right now watching him take that first World Cup win. And that was the mix-up into the turn. Pilar was trying to get in on Cameron Wood as they came out of that corner, but Ross Cullen of Great Britain takes his first Elite World Cup win. He'll be absolutely delighted with that one, and I'm not sure whether Sylvain Andre has pinched himself another podium.
We need to see a little bit of a look further back. No doubt in our race winner there on that photo finish picture. According to that, it looks like Sylvain Andre has managed to pip Arthur Pilar to move into that 3rd place. It's very, very close indeed. I think it's going to be hundredths of a second, if not thousands, separating the 3rd and 4th places. Ross Cullen taking the race win, Cameron Wood in 2nd, Sylvain Andre confirmed in 3rd place, and that is indeed 100ths of a second between Andre and Pilar. Blanc, Clerté, Brick and Marcotte rounding out your final. But today, well, your race winner, one and only Ross Cullen.
Ross, many congratulations, your first win in the World Cup, and we see you're wearing your special shoes. What does this mean to you today?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, a lot's gone into this win. So many years in the making, so much heartbreak, failure, but it's all worth it on days like today.
And talking about days like today, what do you think specifically has gone right for you today?
Before the semi, not an awful lot. I was actually having a real bad day, but just kept the bottom line pretty neutral, kept confident and delivered when I had to.
We've seen a lot of riders start from gate 8 today. What's the thinking, what's the strategy when you start in that gate?
I think it's just a big wide open track, probably the biggest on the circuit, so it allows you a little bit of space if you don't get out as well, but I think with a rocket like that I would have been okay anywhere.
I spoke to Bethany Shriever briefly, another GB winner today. She said you're the fastest you've ever been this season. What do you put it down to?
A lot of hard work and stress. Yeah, it's been a long time coming, but the support of my sponsors, my team, family, girlfriend, everyone. I love you lots.
Just a quick word about the shoes. Roadrunner on them. What does it mean to you? What's the meaning?
So my dad that's in the stands, he used to call me Roadrunner when I was a kid. So it was on all my kit, and we had some special ones delivered for the weekend, and they did the trick.
Yeah, you'd certainly deserve to wear them now. Well done, Ross. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, on a day like today, indeed, I'm sure if the Papendal were watching and not from too far down the road in Bury, not far from Preston, they would be putting a tune down for him, because to tell you something, he absolutely nailed that. Superb riding from him. I mean, he's put a lot in there, and he mentioned his dad in the stands there. The support of our riders is critical, isn't it? It's what you heard Molly Simpson say often. We've heard it on social media, you know, it's about we, it's not about I, and that's really what we're seeing there from Cullen as well.
Yeah, Ross Cullen definitely getting the support around him, and it's paid off today.
Well, you can see the handshakes on the podium there. Sylvain Andre will be pleased to have taken that podium, to have sneaked in with that 3rd place here today. A good weekend for him here in semifinals. More points in the bag in those overall standings. He takes 3rd place for France. It's a 2nd place for Cameron Wood of the United States of America, a rider who came into this round in 4th place in the series standings. But it was all about this race. It was about taking his first win in that Senior World Cup. Ross Cullen of Great Britain makes it 2 elite wins for Great Britain here today. What a result. Your top 3 here today. And it sets us up for the World Championships. Rich, it sets us up also for the rest of the World Cup. But let's not neglect what else has been on today. So let's take a look at our fastest laps across our race categories. Rich, our under 23 women. Michelle Vissing, no surprises that she's got that fastest lap.
Yeah, Michelle Vissing, absolute domination from this Dutch rider. She's won 4 in a row now here in the World Cup Series. That fastest lap coming in the final with a 34.534. I think the only question we need to ask at the end of this, through this World Cup Series, is who is going to stop Michelle Vissing, because she's certainly showing the rest of the class the way to go, despite the best attentions of Lily Greenhoff and Marie Favrel. Vissing taking the fastest lap in the final here in Papendal.
And a choice of boys, you'll get the yellow board as fastest lap, and the red board as well as series leader, which obviously will take precedent over the fastest lap board there. An absolute flyer from her in that under 23 women's competition.
As we move on to the elite women's final, again the fastest lap coming in the final from Bethany Shriver with a 33.702, working away all the way across from gate number 8. Bethany says this is her favourite track on the circuit, and you can see exactly why it is. She's got so much space to work with. She can rail those turns as hard as she wants. And when she's out in front like this, there's no doubt that she's going to pick up a fast time. And it just happened to be the fastest time of the day. Bethany Shriver bringing home the win, bringing home the fastest time of the day, 33.702. It doesn't get any better than that.
So a quick lap and the race win, doing it in the finals of the track. Just starting to dry, just seeing those dry patches on the track as we moved into our finals here today after that spell of rain came through during the semi-finals. But Shriver all smiles at the end of that, giving it absolutely everything. As we move across to the men's, well, Jason Nordham's fastest lap time. They're set in the 8th finals.
Yeah, the 8 finals saw the fastest lap from Jason Nordham, 34.054. So even though the final didn't go Jason Nordham's way today, here at round 4 of the UCI BMX Racing World Cup, he has the satisfaction of setting that fastest time. But it's so tough, it's so evenly matched. In this men's under 23 category, Joshua Jolly taking the win in round number 4, just ruining the perfect record of Jason Nordham, but the fastest lap going to the Dutchman.
So Nordham's fastest lap time again, going to give him that coveted yellow number plate board on the front of the bike, and that's the one that they're after in terms of fastest lap. And Cullen again doing exactly what we saw Bethany Shriver do, taking away the win in the final and setting the fastest lap at the same time.
Yeah, and as they say, you save the best till last, and Ross Cullen of Great Britain definitely did. The 33.984. Wide open track out in front of him. He's got his competition behind him, focused on doing what they're doing and trying to make moves, working out what they're going to do. That's just going to let Ross Cullen creep away, come out of that final turn, take his first World Cup elite win, and the fastest time of the day as well.
And the track drying out there, you can see the sun coming down on the riders as they made their way in and through. So a fantastic result for the riders, taking the fastest laps and some great race wins as well here in Papendal in the Netherlands at round number 4. So let's take a look back at some of our best moments from the racing here today, Rich. Some great emotion from our coaches, from our riders. The crowd have been fantastic as always at Papendal, and some real highlights as well as maybe some results that people weren't expecting.
Yeah, I think the Dutch crowd are going away slightly disappointed that Jason Nordham didn't win, but the crowd at Papendal always bring their A game when it comes to watching a BMX event, and it was a shame that Jason Jolly just spoiled the party for them. But yeah, Joshua Jolly taking his first World Cup win. And
real reflection there in those pictures, seeing that difference from Nordham's reaction to Jolly's reaction. So big reaction coming from Bethany Shriver, one of our 2 elite winners.
Yeah, you heard that exclamation as she came across the line. More relief and joy than anything, and it's exactly what she needed to get done on the day.
So lots of emotion here at Papendal. So let's take a look at what that's done for our overall rankings here at the end of round number 4, 2/3 of the way through the series of the BMX Racing World Cup. Michelle Vissing continues to extend her lead at the top of the standings ahead of Renske van Sanford. Lily's Greenhoff not able to make the most of the miss by Favreau and Hutt there, sliding out on that last corner, but retains third place. Greenhoff holding third, Van Sanford in second. Michelle Vissing at the top of the standings, 4 wins from 4, a perfect score. Now, as we move from the women under 23 to the men under 23, Jason Nordam still holding on to the top of the standings. Joshua Jolly, the nearest challenger. If a challenger he can be called, because Nordam's point score is huge. It is possible, but very difficult to beat the man at the top. Piesinowski, again, another of those riders that are thinking maybe could have got a little bit more in terms of points coming out from this weekend. Science Kakibara with her multitude of second places. She holds on to the lead ahead of Molly Simpson. Zoe Clayson's not able to get a big point score, and Bethany Shriver moving up through those standings with 2 great podiums, one of which is the win here today in Papendal. That's moving her up those standings, so maybe she can put a late charge going into the end of the season. Sylvain Andre hangs on to top spot ahead of Arthur Pilard because of that scrape in just ahead, coming in with third place just ahead of Cameron Wood holding that third place now, moving ahead of Isaac Kennedy going down in the preceding round. Cullen moving his way right up through those standings and into the top 8. Phenomenal racing, really shaking it up. The points certainly behind our under 23 leaders and right the way through those standings in the elite competition. A fantastic race here at Papendal. I hope you've enjoyed the racing. It's been an absolute pleasure putting words to the action here with Rich Eames. Make sure that you join Rich for the World Champions. Make sure you come back for round 5 from Santiago del Estero on the 20th of September. But from Rich and me, goodbye.
And Hotel. In third place for Ecuador, Dominic